Today it's all about the stimulus, and that is what we're discussing here in Canberra. Businesses and pensioners will be supported in the Morrison government's stimulus package. That's designed to stop the economy slipping into recession. The Treasurer has confirmed this morning the package will be in the ballpark of $18 billion, well beyond the $10 billion that was originally being reported, and is focused on keeping employers afloat to save jobs during the coronavirus emergency. Let's go live to political reporter Trudy McIntosh. Trudy, take us what we know so far.
Annalise, it's a big cash splash today by the Morrison government designed to deal with the economic fallout of the coronavirus. The announcements we know that will be a part of this around $18 billion package. $6.7 billion will go in cash handouts to small business, up to $25,000 for eligible businesses. There'll be $1.3 billion going towards keeping apprentices in training right across the country. We will also see $700 million for changes to the instant asset write-off. You'll now be able to write off items like trucks and utes up to a value of $150,000, and even bigger businesses will now have access to that scheme. We also will be seeing some form of cash payments, for pensioners and also for welfare recipients, believed to be in the ballpark of around $500 there. And this is just the beginning. We are expecting to see much more to come in this announcement to be revealed by the Prime Minister and Treasurer later today. All of this being done to try and prevent a recession in the Australian economy. But can the Treasurer guarantee that this will be enough? Here he was.
This package is designed to support the Australian economy and give us our best shot of keeping the Australian economy growing into the future.
So that's a yes. So you guarantee that this kind of money, this advice from Treasury, this is all designed to keep Australia from going into recession, which would be the first time in almost 30 years.
Well, Laura, our focus is on ensuring the Australian economy continues to grow.
There has been pressure for the government to act on deeming rates after the interest rates cuts we saw by the Reserve Bank, and the Prime Minister this morning also confirming that that will be a part of this package.
Yeah, well, we're going to cut the deeming rates by 50 basis points. So we'll go down to 50 basis points, 50.5 at the lowest level and 2.5 at the higher level. So that's bringing it down 50 basis points. Now, that is actually a response to the most recent decision of the Reserve Bank. It goes along on the same day that we're announcing this package.
Yeah. And Trudy, one senior Labor frontbencher says that the government needs to consider cancelling mass gatherings.
Bill Shorten really upping the ante, Annalise, this morning. He is making the argument that the government needs to be considering much more draconian measures here in Australia in order to limit the number of mass gatherings that we have seen. We know in places like Italy, it is entirely in lockdown now, and Bill Shorten says that that's something that the Morrison government needs to consider. We know just yesterday the Health Minister was asked on Sky News if there is a push to ban mass gatherings. He said that for now that would be premature, but Bill Shorten's certainly upping the ante. Here he was.
The only way to make sure this pandemic is not worse than it otherwise could be is to have more drastic social distancing measures. Singapore and Japan and parts of China, they are putting in more draconian reactions. As a result, it would appear that some of their pandemic numbers are not going to be as bad as other countries who are just doing too little too late. This is going to be a major policy question, not in weeks and months, but in days. Do we keep having big events? Will we teach school from home? We've got to have more social distancing, and that is the only way to stop this pandemic being worse than it might otherwise be.
It'll be interesting to see whether the Labor leader Anthony Albanese backs this in today when asked about this. We know that the Prime Minister, for his part, says as of late last night he still will be going to the football on the weekend. But will that be reconsidered as they continue to deal with the coronavirus outbreak, Annalise?
It is a rapidly changing situation. Trudy McIntosh, thank you.